Ladies who move to a new country alone, what unexpected challenges and joys did you discover? So I did that thing where you have a mental breakdown at your cubicle, quit your job the next day, and somehow end up living in a country you can barely pronounce. Classic millennial crisis, right? Except I actually went through with it. I'd love to say I chose Georgia, the country, not the state, LOL, because of some deep cultural interest or career opportunity, but TBH, it was literally because 1, I could afford it, 2, they offered a 1-year visa for remote workers, and 3, I'd seen exactly one TikTok about Tbilisi that made it look pretty. Not my finest decision-making moment. The first weird thing I noticed when I arrived was how everyone stared. Not in a creepy way, but this constant awareness that I was being observed. On my 3rd day, an old woman straight up stopped me on the street, adjusted my scarf, and walked away muttering. My Airbnb host just laughed when I told her and said, "Now you are her project." Finding an apartment was hell. My phone plan didn't work properly. Google Maps kept sending me to non-existent addresses. And apparently, apartment viewing appointments are more like loose suggestions here. I'd show up at the agreed time only to find no one there. Or someone's grandmother who spoke no English giving me homemade wine at 10 a.m. After 2 weeks of hostel living and increasingly desperate apartment hunting, my laptop died. This was peak FML territory since my entire plan hinged on remote work. I wandered into this tiny repair shop, where a guy who looked about 100 years old took one look at my laptop and just shook his head sadly. That night, I panic-scrolled through expat Facebook groups in a hostel common room when this woman messaged me saying her neighbor was looking for a roommate. No photos, vague location, but I was desperate enough to go see it. The building looked like something from a Soviet horror movie. Concrete, graffiti, a door that screamed, "Murder happens here." But the apartment itself? Gorgeous high ceilings, huge windows, and a balcony overlooking this hidden courtyard where old men played chess all day. My roommate was intimidating AF. Professional dancer, spoke 5 languages, cooked these incredible meals, and seemed annoyed by my existence. She'd leave post-its with Georgian phrases I should learn and correct my pronunciation without making eye contact. 2 weeks in, I was seriously considering finding somewhere else when I came home to find her sobbing on the couch. I had no idea what to do, but awkwardly sat beside her. Language barrier meant deep conversation was impossible, so I just showed her cat videos on my phone until she stopped crying. That night, she dragged me to this underground restaurant where her friends were gathered. No English menu, no tourists, just locals who kept filling my glass with homemade wine and putting food on my plate. Wayne, this British guy who'd been in Georgia for years, appointed himself my translator for the night. He kept leaning over to whisper these cultural tidbits. Don't empty your glass or they'll refill it. Too late. And they're arguing about which region makes the best khachapuri. Don't take sides or you'll start a war. The real game changer was when a guy spilled wine on my phone. While trying to fix it, he asked what brought me to Georgia. When I admitted I had no plan beyond escape my life, instead of the usual judgment, he nodded and said, "Give it 3 months. You'll either leave forever or never want to go home." Things I didn't expect. The loneliness hits differently when you can't even read street signs. My parents think I'm having some extended vacation, not understanding I wake up some days wondering WTF I'm doing here. Dating apps are wild. Half expats with savior complexes, half locals wanting English practice. Yesterday marked 2 months here. My Georgian vocabulary consists mostly of food items and apologetic phrases. I've learned to navigate the marshrutkas, minibuses, that follow no comprehensible schedule. I've accepted that personal space is a Western concept that doesn't apply here. I now automatically remove my shoes in any home and never refuse food, even at 7 a.m. The unexpected joy? Finding belonging in disconnection. When my roommate's grandmother grabbed my face last week, inspecting me before declaring something that made the whole family laugh, I didn't need translation to know I'd been accepted somehow. Still no idea if I'm staying or going, but Georgia is changing me in ways I never anticipated.